Two serious vulnerabilities have been uncovered in Red Lion's remote terminal units, or RTUs, which could allow hackers to gain full control over critical industrial systems. This matters because these flaws could lead to significant disruptions in vital sectors like energy and water treatment. On October 15, 2025, researchers reported that the vulnerabilities, identified as CVE-2023-40151 and CVE-2023-42770, both carry a maximum severity score of 10.0. These issues affect Red Lion's Sixnet and Versatrack RTUs, enabling unauthenticated attackers to execute commands with root privileges. Next, we'll explore the specifics of these vulnerabilities, how they can be exploited, and what users can do to protect their systems. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals. On October 15, 2025, researchers from Claroty disclosed the critical vulnerabilities impacting Red Lion's Sixnet remote terminal units. The vulnerabilities CVE-2023-40151 and CVE-2023-42770 were both assigned a maximum severity score of 10.0 on the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, CVSS, indicating the potential for severe consequences if exploited. CVE-2023-42770 involves an authentication bypass due to a flaw in the RTU software's handling of incoming messages. Specifically, it listens on the same port for both UDP and TCP connections, only enforcing authentication for UDP, while accepting TCP messages without any authentication challenge. This design oversight allows attackers to send malicious commands over TCP without needing valid credentials. CVE-2023-40151, on the other hand, is a remote code execution vulnerability that exploits the Sixnet universal driver's capability to execute Linux shell commands. An attacker can use this flaw to run arbitrary code with root privileges, thus gaining complete control over the device. The combination of these two vulnerabilities enables an attacker to bypass authentication and execute commands with the highest privileges, significantly increasing the risk of disruption in critical infrastructure sectors. Claroty highlighted that Red Lion's RTUs are integral to various industrial automation systems, including energy, water treatment, and manufacturing, making them attractive targets for cybercriminals. In response to the discovery, Red Lion recommended immediate patching of affected devices and enabling user authentication to mitigate the risks. The U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, issued an alert in November 2023, identifying specific firmware versions that are vulnerable, underscoring the urgency for organizations to secure their systems promptly. The discovery of these vulnerabilities in Red Lion RTUs has raised alarm bells across various industrial sectors due to their potential impact on operational integrity and security protocols. The ability for attackers to execute commands with root privileges could lead to unauthorized changes in critical systems, potentially compromising safety measures and operational continuity in sectors such as energy and water treatment. In response to this heightened risk, organizations are urged to reassess their cybersecurity frameworks, particularly those involving remote terminal units. The vulnerabilities highlight the necessity for robust user authentication mechanisms and the implementation of strict access controls. By blocking TCP access to the affected RTUs, facilities can mitigate the risk of exploitation. Moreover, the vulnerabilities underscore the importance of regular software updates and patch management. Organizations relying on Red Lion RTUs should prioritize applying the latest firmware updates to ensure that their systems are fortified against potential attacks. The urgency of this action is compounded by the fact that many industrial systems are interconnected, meaning a breach in one area could cascade and affect multiple operations. Furthermore, the incident serves as a reminder of the evolving nature of cyber threats in industrial environments. As attackers become more sophisticated, the need for continuous monitoring and threat assessment becomes paramount. Companies must invest in advanced cybersecurity solutions that can detect anomalies and respond to potential breaches in real time. This situation also raises questions about the regulatory landscape surrounding industrial cybersecurity. As vulnerabilities in critical infrastructure become more prevalent, there may be increased pressure from government bodies to enforce stricter compliance standards and reporting requirements. This could lead to a shift in how industrial operations approach cybersecurity, moving from reactive measures to proactive strategies that prioritize resilience and risk management. In summary, the implications of these vulnerabilities extend far beyond immediate technical fixes. They call for a comprehensive re-evaluation of security protocols, a commitment to ongoing training for personnel, and a strategic approach to safeguarding industrial operations against an increasingly hostile cyber environment. In light of the recently discovered vulnerabilities in Red Lion RTUs, users must take immediate action to safeguard their systems. The first step is to ensure that all affected devices are updated with the latest firmware patches. This is crucial as the patches directly address the vulnerabilities, significantly reducing the risk of exploitation. Next, users should enable user authentication on their RTUs. This step adds an essential layer of security, making it more difficult for unauthorized individuals to gain access and execute commands. By requiring authentication, the potential for remote code execution through these vulnerabilities is greatly diminished. Additionally, it's advisable for users to block TCP access to the affected RTUs. Since the vulnerabilities allow unauthenticated access over TCP, implementing this measure can prevent potential attackers from exploiting the flaws remotely. This proactive approach helps to limit exposure to threats. Organizations should also conduct a thorough review of their network architecture. Assessing the placement and accessibility of RTUs within the network can help identify any additional security measures that may be necessary. For instance, segmenting critical systems from less secure areas of the network can provide further protection. Finally, users are encouraged to stay informed about cybersecurity developments related to their devices. Regularly checking for updates from Red Lion and cybersecurity authorities such as CISA can ensure that users remain aware of any new threats or recommended practices. Engaging in community discussions and following cybersecurity experts can also provide valuable insights into best practices for securing industrial control systems. If you found this update helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to InfoSec Now for the latest cybersecurity news. Your support really helps us continue building useful content for cybersecurity professionals.